So welcome to Amazon Web Services Cloud Computing session today. This is a day one introductory session, and I would not much introductory giving for Amazon Web Services. So I'll give you the information about cloud computing today. So that will give you a more knowledge. So why you want to choose Amazon Web Services, and you have to start your career with Amazon Web Services cloud computing technology. So today in the session, we are going to discuss these are the points. First one about me, as I discussed myself, Uma Mahesh Naidu. I have a 12 plus years of experience and the prior knowledge and current working in VMware, Citrix, and Amazon Web Services administration. So I have done a couple of certifications in different technologies like VMware Certified Professional, in Citrix CCSP, Citrix Certified Sales Professional, and in AWS Certified Solution Architect, Associate and Professional. So I can speak comfortable languages, English, Telugu, Tamil. And if you have any questions in your mind, and please post your questions in the YouTube chat, okay, so that I can able to answer your question. Guys, today we are going to understand what is meaning of cloud computing technology. So before that, just we want to know about that. What is a traditional computing architecture? What is meaning of traditional computing architecture? Currently, we are using laptop, desktop in your offices, colleges, schools, at home. So everywhere the computer will follows traditional computing architecture. Let me explain what it is a traditional computing architecture. So the computer has their three layers. One is a hardware layer, and second one is a operating system layer, and third one is application layer. So the hardware layer, the complete your physical machine. So main we have a CPU. So there's a small box. So inside we have a motherboard. So in that motherboard, there are other hardware peripherals will be connected. Like you have a CPU, memory we called as RAM. CPU is nothing but processor. Hard drive, your hard disk, network. So that is your network card. So normally when we are taking internet connection and you are plugged into your system or laptop, and sometimes you'll use Wi-Fi adapters. Okay, the trend is changing. So instead of using the physical adapter, we'll use a wireless adapter. That is a Wi-Fi connections we are using. So these all peripherals will be part of a hardware layer. So how to initialize these hardwares? So normally, when we are taking the hardware from any XYZ brand, Dell, HP, Toshiba, Lenovo, any brand, so this structure is same. But internal, they have some BIOS, a small embedded operating system will be installed, and that will be helpful to connect your all the hardware peripherals in your system. Example, just I power on the system. The first, the system will be taking the power with the SMPS, and the SMPS will release the power to all the hardware peripherals which is connected on the motherboard, and all the hardware peripherals will be initializing. That means it will be start working. So then BIOS coming to the picture. So there is an embedded OS. So coming with your motherboard, and the BIOS will start checking all your hardware peripherals, whether it's working or not. That's it. So with this BIOS, you cannot perform any action. With this BIOS, you cannot perform any actions. That's it. You can log into a system and you can go to BIOS and you can check how much hard disk, how much RAM, what is the processor, and what is the network. Only these are the information you can check. You cannot do any work in this area. But if you want to work anything in your computer, we need a software to work on your system. That software name called as operating system, OS. We called as OS, operating system. There are different types of OS available in the market nowadays. Okay. So Windows, Linux, iOS, IBM AX. There are so many operating systems are in the market, but we are familiar with Windows, maximum 70 to 80%, and very less Linux experience, Linux operating system. So let's take an example from the Windows. We are using Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. And this is the desktop operating systems. And we'll go for server operating system like we have a 2003, 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 2019 also nowadays. So these are the desktop and the server operating system. Any operating system we will be installing on the directly on the system. So how you will be installing? Very simple. We'll take a CD, DVD and inserting on the DVD drive or CD drive, and we are installing the operating system. Or else now the trend is changed and we are installing through USB drive. Some nowadays we are installing the operating system through the network also. That's a different technology. But anyhow, I installed the operating system. That's it. So now we will be considering, so the operating system is working on your machine. So now we can start and you can log into your system with your username and password. That's enough? No. Based upon your job responsibility, that application will be installed on your system. We have a various applications. Okay. Various applications in that. Okay. Very familiar applications, MS Office like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Adobe Reader, Flash Player, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. Whatever the applications you need, you will be installing on the top of operating system. So that will be running on the application layer. That will be running on the application layer. So this everything will be controlled by user. He is administrator, might be local administrator or domain administrator, that we'll discuss later. As a user, will be managing these applications and operating system on your system. So user is like us. So when we are logging into operating system and managing application with a user, that is called user layer. Right. So now the main layers are hardware layer, operating system layer, and application layer. So this is a architecture never ever changed till date. We are following the same architecture. Just I want to start a new business. Okay, I want to start a new business. So the business is e-commerce. That means selling a product online. So that's a trend right today. So like Flipkart, Amazon, Alibaba. There are so many websites are there. What they're doing, they're selling a products online. So previously, before the smartphone came into the market, okay, so e-commerce sites are not popular. Yes, and that time also e-commerce sites are there. But compared to smartphone came into the market, after that, so everyone they'll be jump into e-commerce business. So even I'm also very much interested to do a e-commerce business. Okay, Just I want to sell my products. I want to sell my products. So whatever I'm manufacturing, I want to sell the products. Okay, I decided. If I want to sell my products through online, okay, I need a website. I need a web page I required, like www.flipkart.com, www.amazon.com, alibaba.com. Like that, I need a one website. Yeah, that's the way I have hired one engineer. So that means he is a web developer and he developed one website. He developed one website. So that website where I want to host. So web page is created. It's looking awesome with logos and all the information, some pics. Huh? Everything is looks good. But where I want to host the website. So when I want to host the website, I need a one server. Without a server, I cannot host my data, the web page. So for that reason, I took one web server. And in that, I placed my website and I'm releasing an internet. That means I just advertise in cinema theaters, shopping complex, and Facebook media. There's a digital media. Hey, this is Mahesh. I started a new entrepreneurship of the new company. So like e-commerce business, right? So in the e-commerce business, I have a website name. So in that website, you can purchase the products, and these are the products are introductory offer. We'll get a good discount, and these products we can access only within these locations. You cannot access from different locations. Only some locations I was mentioned in this website. Only the target audience we can buy from the particular location only. So now I just started my advertisement. So now the people are start using my website. That means they're browsing my website. Example, my site name called maheshcart.com. Okay, maheshcart.com. That is my e-commerce site name. So he visited, or maybe she visited. So maheshcart.com. There's a couple of people. They'll be access my website. So when they're accessing my website, the connection will be connected to my web server through the internet channel. Without internet, we cannot connect. Understand? So now they'll be accessing the web page through the internet. The request is reached to my server. So my web server is receiving the request, and it will be returning the web page to the users, and users start buying the product. Some people just chuma, they'll be spending the time and watching the website. Some people are buying, some people are not watching the website. That's very simple. Even though the people are buying are just watching my website, so my server always need to work right 24/7. So in this area, my business are going good, my server is working properly, and users are so keep on buying the products. So my server is very happy because of the load is very normal. Okay, example, I have only one server at present. Uh, on our on averages, the daily, so 102 200 users they'll be connecting on the web server. 100 to 200 users they'll be connecting. So the web server is reaching the connections and also handling the connections. The CPU, memory, everything is good. And the web page also will be looks good. And when users are buying products on online, when the payment, everything is very smooth. We don't get any slowness. So I'm a business owner, right? So I just thinking beyond that. So why should I want to give some more offers to establish my business into the next level? Just I'm giving an introductory offer for my customers. So there's an offer sale for Ramzan. So flat 50% for all the products in maheshcart.com. So what they will do when giving the advertisement? So normally daily there are 100 to 200 people, they will be visiting my website, right? Suddenly the users are increasing. So like 200 to 300, 300 to 400, 500, 600. So when the users are increasing, okay, so they start using my website. They are planning to purchase the products. Again, here some people are purchasing, some people are not purchasing. But the number of sessions are very high. So those sessions cannot handle by your existing server because the server have a limited capacity, right? The capacity have, they can manage the limited number of sessions. They can manage limited number of sessions so that at present the number of sessions cannot handle. Yes, it will take a request, but the taking the request and replying to the customers, it will take delay. Example, IRCTC, when you're booking a ticket at third call around 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I'm not much aware of that. So when everyone at a time when attacking the server, the website irctc.co.in, so it will be very slow compared to the remaining timings. So same way, here the server also very busy because of number of requests are high. So as a business owner, and my engineer who is supporting the web server in my company, what we will discuss normally. So my engineer will be, I'm just, I just so much of complaints on my website. Your websites are very slow, and payment gateways are taking a long time to, so purchasing the products. I'm getting so much of complaints. I just talking to my engineer. Hey, at present, I'm getting so much of complaints from the users. So can you please check that? So he will check that load on the server. He will discuss with me. After that, sometime, sir, I have only one server in my data center. So there are number of users are very high. So at present, the server is not handle the connections. What we'll do? So we need to increase the server count. That means at present we have only one server, right? At least minimum 3 to 4 servers. I need to increase it on my data center. So then only, so if you have a more customers also, it can able to handle it. So now the next phase, we increase the server count. Example, we additionally, there are 3 servers introduced. Additionally, there are 3 servers are introduced in the data center. So now all 4 servers are equally distributing the load and giving the sessions. Okay, fine. After some days, after Ramzan sale, so I'm not giving any sale to my customers, right? Because I'm not giving all 365 days, I'm not giving offers. So very limited period due to festival seasons only, I can give the offers. It might be weekends, but rest of the time, rest of the days, I'm not providing it. So normal users only they'll be connected. But at the time, so those number of sessions can be handled only one server is enough. Might be 2 servers are enough, but unnecessarily there are 2 more servers we need to power on the data center. So even though if you shut down the server, so non-business hours or might be non-festival days. So when we are giving an offers and when the users are connecting more, so when we keep on watching and we started on the server and the data center, it's taking long time and is a huge administration task. That's one point. And now I'm not getting a much businesses, so unnecessarily I buy the servers on the data center. That's not 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. I spend a lakhs. So minimum each server I spend for 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs rupees. So unnecessarily the server is running on my data center. Okay, that's one condition and one problem, one challenge. Another challenge is I cannot run the same servers for years and years, for a long time. So today I'm buying the server in 2020. I cannot run the servers for next 10 years. Maximum 3 to 4 years or maximum 5 years I can run the server in my data center. After that, definitely the server will become very slow. It will be old and it will not compatible with the current trending models. There is a what is the new features was available in the trend that will not matching. Understood? So you definitely you have to throw it this hardware outside the second hand sales market and you have to buy a new servers. So previously I buy the server, uh, example 3 lakhs rupees. So after 5 years or 6 years, when you're buying a new service, definitely the cost will be very high. So that means every 4 to 5 years, so you want to start your IT business from the zero. That means again you have to put your budget and you have to build your data center. As a small company, I'm facing this many challenges. The same challenges are facing by all the IT companies nowadays. All the companies. Even you are also facing. Example, today you're buying 20,000 rupees a smartphone. Will you use it for next 20 years, that phone? No, right? Definitely after 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, the phone definitely will become very problem, hardware problem or software problem. Might be something broken based upon your usage. Again, you will buying a new phone. So that means every once in a 2 to 3 years, you start buying a new mobile again. Same way, a laptop also in your home. Maximum 7 to 8 years you will use your laptop. Again, you have to buy a new laptop. Understand? Same way, anywhere the hardware definitely you want to change it frequently. Frequently means we have some certain period. So here we have a 4 to 6 years. There is a life cycle management. Life cycle management. So hardware life cycle management we will discuss. So going forward classes. So now the hardware life cycle means we could not use your old hardware for many years. So these are the main challenges are there. So every time we had to buy and installing, configuring, buy the licenses, everything is there. So how to avoid these kind of challenges? How to avoid these kind of challenges with any new technology? Okay, so that's every um, the company is looking out. So finally, so cloud computing is came into the market. You do not maintain your servers. So that means you do not maintain your storage, compute, network, and again we have any databases like that, queries and content applications. So like your applications, you should not maintain anything. So everything will be managing by cloud computing technology. So they will handle it. But what do you want to do? Very simple. We have a servers at your office, desktops, laptops, tabs, phones. Just only use these devices. Only you can use these devices. You can connect to infrastructure, platform, applications in cloud computing. So here, this infrastructure platform application, you're not maintaining. You do not bother about that. So example, in the data center, the 24/7, you have to provide the power, electricity. You do not bother about it. So the server, you have to keep it in a particular data center in a building. You want to monthly have to pay the rent, right? Either you want to buy a building entire building, you have to buy it. You do not bother about that. You have to maintain security. Anyone unfortunately entering into your data center, you have to put your hi-fi security. So here these are the main challenges are there, and we have to provide a air condition, so cooling your processors and monitoring, everything is there. So we do not bother about that. So I got some questions in chat. So Nikhil Manikanta, will this session be uploaded later? I'm facing issues with the connectivity. I hope this session will be running on the YouTube after that also. So if anything, I'll let you know after that. Okay. And next, Diwakar Balaji, awesome speech and very clear and easy to understand. Thanks for your feedback, Diwakar. Shrikant, those are services, right? Shrikant, that means you're talking about infrastructure, platform, application that you're talking about services. Yes, infrastructure service, platform is a service, application is a service. Yes, these three services will be provided by cloud computing companies. I'll discuss later what are the companies are providing infrastructure, platform, application. So one by one, I will let you know. Thank you, Srikant. So cloud computing means very simple. Okay. I'm not managing my infrastructure. I'm not managing my platform. I'm not managing my applications. Everything in internet. Everything is my internet. I just using my devices like servers, uh, desktops, tabs, phones, laptops. Okay, fine. I'll connect with cloud computing now. So previously, I created web servers, right? I created web server on my data center. That means hardware cost, operating system cost, application cost, and the engineering who are all working for to build the server, transport charges, everything in my packet only. I'm paying everything a single paisa from my packet only. Understand? Now, these all the servers I move to, these all the servers I'll move to cloud computing. Let's take an example. In infrastructure area, first I will create one server. I'll create one server and I'll use a platform, whatever the platform will be supported for building a web application. And I'll use application also, which application I want to use, like a IaaS application that's called Internet Information Service, that might be Apache, Tomcat. So might be there are some tools will be available, right? So those tools I will be using and I'll build my web server on cloud computing data center. So everyone start using a web server. So I just created only one server first time. So I want to start my business to next level. I'm giving some offers. So there are more people are connecting. The more people are connecting. So when more people are connecting, the existing server is not handling the sessions. So immediately I'm giving a rule. I'm creating one rule on the infrastructure level. Hey, if the server is reaching more than 70% utilization, okay, the server is reaching more than 70% utilization. So that means the server is not handling the connection. So please, you can create additional one more server. You can create an additional one more server. So when offer is started, okay, and Saturday morning 9 o'clock, the users are connecting. So and the day starts with the 30%, the server utilization, keep on the server reaches to 70%. So now there is a monitoring services will be there. The monitoring services will check that, hey, server is a 70% utilization, please create an additional server. So it will indicates to infrastructure service. So infrastructure service will create an additional server. So now if additional server is created, so on the first server we have a 70% load. In the second server, 0% load is a newly created, right? So any new connection is coming, so the new connection will be connected to the new server. The Old server will not take any connections. That means the load balancing also will be managing by your cloud computing only. So keep on the users are increasing to use your website. So your monitoring service and infrastructure actually working always minute and second quickly create a one more server. So how much time will take a additional server created? Normally, when you want to buy a physical server, okay, here. So what are the challenges are there? First, I need to call my vendor, Dell, Toshiba, Lenovo, or maybe who are all selling in the market, and I want to take a quotation, and he will order the product. The product will be delivered to my place, and I'm open the box and install with operating system and buying a license and install the applications. Then I will be connecting in the LAN. That means in the data center. Got it? So how much time will take? Minimum 2 to 3 days. But in cloud computing technology, how much time will take to create additional server? Fraction of minutes. Fraction of minutes. Less than 5 minutes, one server will create if required. Less than 5 minutes, you want 5 servers, it will create. Less than 5 minutes, you want 100 servers, it will create. How beauty it is. Understand? Again, I got some questions. Pradeep, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Yes, Pradeep. So application is called software as a service. Platform is a PaaS, platform as a service. Infrastructure is called IaaS, infrastructure service. So in the next slide, I will explain what is the infrastructure, platform, software, okay, everything. So Dhanraj is asking, sir, can we restart the server in cloud computing? Yes, you can. You can create a server, you can restart a server, you can shut down the server, you can delete the server. Yes, you can do it. So next question from Srikanth M. How will the new server will get integrated with my application? Yeah, there are some steps we have to follow, Srikanth. Okay. So first we had to choose infrastructure, and you have to create one server and install the application, and creating some monitors. There are so much of topics are there. Okay, so that will be discussing in going forward classes. Okay, and Raghav Acharya, sir, can you explain IaaS PaaS? Okay, IaaS PaaS. So in the next slide, I will explain, Raghav. So I have a separate PPT for each and every services like IaaS platform and applications. There I will explain. Thank you. So now I'll move to cloud computing definition. Very simple definition. There are so many definitions in the market. That means market means Google. Okay. So you will definitely confusing. So for that reason, I'm taking a easiest, simplest definition for cloud computing. Okay. In the simplest terms, cloud computing means it provides the services to access. So normally in a company, okay, we are using programs, applications, storage, network, server. So these are main 5 services we require. Okay, these are main 5 services we require. So these all services we are handling through internet. We're handling through internet. Example, so as a business owner, I'm using my web server. I'm using my server. I'm using my application. I'm using my data. Everything on the network only. That means network means internet connection. So on the client side, what we'll use? Very simple. I'll use either laptop, PC, mobile, tabs, smart TVs. So any one of the tools I will use it. So I'm using that application. So and also the end user without installing. I'm not installing it. I'm not updating. I'm not maintaining the application also. You do not bother about that. So previously you're 100% you're working for your IT company, right? Now it will be reduced to 70 to 80%. Only 20% of the work you can configure your works. Understand? So now services Nowadays, we are using like a programs, application, storage, network, servers, accessing through internet. And the client side, we are using PCs, laptop, mobile, tab, and smart TVs we are using by the end user without installing, updating, and maintaining them. I'll give you a small example for you guys. Everyone, you are using WhatsApp. Everyone, you are using YouTube on your phone. So YouTube maximum every once in a month or twice in a month, every once in a 3 months. So they will be updating their softwares, right? So mostly daily you are spending 2 to 3 hours on YouTube. Are you upgrading any YouTube servers? No, right? You are uploading your videos and you are marketing yourself. That's it. You are not maintaining the YouTube web servers. YouTube will be managing that. So YouTube also is a cloud. Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, you are not managing that. So you are installing a client side application. Example, go to Play Store and installing the YouTube application, and you are accessing the YouTube videos and you are uploading the videos. That's it. And you never bother about it. But sometimes they will tell you, hey, there's a new feature is enhanced. So the application is update is available. You can update it. That's it. There's no much completely you are building a new server and installing a new application versions and modifications. You are not doing anything, right? Yes. So YouTube application, YouTube, either your mobile or might be on desktop, is kind of application only, the end user application. Okay, but server is different. The backend server is different. So your all your data will be stored in somewhere else. Are you managing that? No, you are not managing that. Got it? So let's move to that cloud computing models. So we have three models: SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. So first we will discuss about SaaS, software as a service. Examples. So the end user without installing, updating, and maintaining. So we are using that. So recently, um, the Honorable Prime Minister of India. So who is it? Narendra Modi, right? So introduced a GST concept, right? So now, are you able to managing a separate accountant for paying GST tax to the government? No, because that will be again we have a additional burden in your packet. So there is a company name called Joho. Joho is an online computing software. Go to in internet and access a website and create your profile. And what are the monthly turnover you have made it, and all the purchases, selling, all your information, the financial information you can enter into the Joho website. And Joho website in the backend servers, there is an online accounting softwares. They'll be calculating and give you the final report. Hey, my this month, last month you have spent this much of amount, and this much of amount you received. So this is your profit, and you have to pay remaining amount for GST. So now directly they'll give you link. I'll pay the government tax, GST. I'm not managing anything. Simply I'm using the end user application, like I'm using browser or might be a Joho application on my mobile. I'm doing my payments. Very simple. Understand? eBay, PayPal. Example, I'm not managing anything PayPal or eBay. There's a companies are managing that. So they transferring the data, everything they'll be maintaining the data center. So they're called cloud service providers. They call as cloud service providers. Here, Facebook, Mail, YouTube, Skype, Pinterest, Google Map, eBay, Twitter, PayPal, all the companies are cloud computing vendors. Cloud computing vendors. But these vendors are SaaS vendors, software as a service vendors. Okay. So if cloud computing means the cloud computing company will support all the SaaS, PaaS, infrastructure. No. So whatever they want to do business in the market, they will do it. That's it. Example, mail. So if you want to start a new company, okay, with some 10,000 employees for a software company. So the employees are exchanging the information, one employee to another employee. They're sending emails, right? So normally, if you want to send an email, what we'll do, I'll create one server, I install it web applications, and I install a backend mail server, and I will install it. And the end users we have Outlook, and I'll be configuring it, right? So this is a too much of work, right? But nowadays we have a simple log into Gmail, and you're providing the first name, last name, and whatever the Gmail name you're looking out, you are entering phone number, and you're providing age information. That's it, you're creating it. So did you ever bother about the mailbox and mail server where it is hosted? No, right? That's the best example for SaaS. But yeah, Gmail is a free, okay. But some companies, example Zoho is providing a mail services, mail services. Yes, madam. Surya Devi, Surya Devi asking for cloud computing infrastructure. Yes, we have two more slides ahead, so I'll explain it. Thank you. So now this is the best example for you. Some companies are paid services, some companies are free services will be there. So depends upon the company to company. So let's move to that platform as a service, platform. So this is mainly for your programmers and developers. So who are all working in a Java, .NET, experienced people, they will use it in your laptop and desktop. They will be connected to platform servers. They're building their applications. But nowadays you do not bother about it. Now you do not bother about it. Yeah, Palani Kumar, as you said, within 5 minutes, many servers we can create. Is that means automated way to the created? Any idea what exactly happening in the backend? Okay. Yes, Palani. So in the next infrastructure area, I will explain your question. Okay. So in the platform as a service, the platform as a service, you do not maintain any platform on your location. Everything in the online. So we have a vendors like a Google App Engine, Force.com, Microsoft Azure, Elastic Beanstalk, VMware Cloud Foundry. Okay, I'll give you one example. We need a .NET platform. One server is required. So what are the challenges you will face? You have to buy the server. That again, it will be infrastructure cost. You have to install the operating system, the license. Then you have to buy the platform application, the license, and installing it. There are so much of work you have to spend on your time. But here you can log into Amazon site. We have to use Elastic Beanstalk. You can use the service within 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes, you can create one server and you can use it. Understand? So now we have a COVID-19 situation. Okay, I could not go for office and I cannot do my business, right? So I can log into Amazon website and I can create Elastic Beanstalk with a one server project and I can do it my work. After my work is completed, I can delete my Elastic Beanstalk application very simply. So how many hours I used it? How many hours I used it? Only that much of amount I can pay for it to the Amazon. It's not free. Again, I'm telling some services is not free. So we had to pay for it. But unnecessarily, if you are installing and only for certain time you are using, remaining times unnecessarily you are waste. So that is a waste for your company revenue. So here, whatever the service you are used, how many minutes and how many hours, so that much only you are paying for your company. So here, so if you are any programmers in your experience like a .NET, Java, SQL, so any kind of developments you are doing in your applications, you can directly go to so any one of the vendors, you can choose it, and you can start your applications within a minute. Within a minute. Okay. So 3 to 5 minutes, you can easily create your application. And finally, we have a infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure is nothing but we have a physical hardware, guys. Physical hardware. And the physical hardware, so we are maintaining normal nowadays. We have a system administrator and network administrator. These two persons are managing your infrastructure. That is your data center. Okay. So Palini Kumar is asking, right? So how many servers you can create? So within 5 minutes, many servers we are creating. What it behind? Good question. Good question. So basically, in the traditional computer, so how many operating system we are installing in traditional computer? How many operating system we are installing? Only one operating system we are installing on the traditional based computer. If you buy 100 computers, means only 100 operating systems are running. Example, so if you need a 10 servers I want to create, means they want to buy a 10 servers? No, they will not follow the traditional computing model. So cloud computing never follows traditional computing model. They will buy a rack server or blade servers. There's a high-end configuration. They will create multiple operating systems in a single hardware device. They will create a multiple operating systems in a single hardware device. That is called virtual machines. So the technology called virtualization technology. So in the market, we have a VMware, Citrix, Red Hat virtualization, Microsoft Hyper-V. So these are the technologies. They will use it, and they'll creating a operating system. They will creating a number of servers. Understood? Am I completed your question, Palini Kumar? Srikanth asking, in platform, you mean to say only you can upload files so that rest will be managed by the cloud provider? Yes, that's correct. So only whatever the data you want to uploading there, and just you want to manipulate your works. So the backend, everything will be managing by your cloud service provider. Okay. So just I'm writing a code. That's it. So the backend, the engines, Java engines, .NET engines. So whatever the engines are required to run the applications in the platform, everything will be taken care by your cloud service provider. You do not bother about it. Fine. Now, come back to infrastructure as a service. So in the infrastructure as a service, mainly we'll be managing, we have a different type of vendors: Amazon EC2, Rackspace, VMware Joint, Google Cloud Platform, Google Cloud Storage also. So example, I need a 10 servers, means I can log into Amazon EC2. I'll create a service. Okay. For a small example, so everyone are very interested. So within a short term, to create operating system. Okay. So guys, within a 5 minutes, I'll create one Windows machine. Within 5 minutes, I'll create one Windows machine. So let's watch here, guys. I'll log into aws.amazon.com. Just log in with your credentials. I have already credentials with me. Okay. So here, go to services. There are so many services like a platform, infrastructure, software. I choose platform services. That is called EC2. Right? In the EC2, I'm going to create a server. Okay. I'm going to create a one Windows server. So here in cloud computing, we call as instances. the term is changed, launch instance. So I'm selecting Windows, selecting Windows 2019 server. I have a 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU. I'm currently creating only one server. You can create 100 servers also at a time. You can create. At present, I'm only creating only one server. So I'm adding storage 30 GB. If you want, we can make it 100 GB also. So the name of the server. Name of the server is a web server 1. Next. This is a network. So network also will be provided by cloud computing only. You do not bother about it. And click launch. So you want to set a password. We have to set a password with, we have a keypads. So that we'll discuss in another classes. So this is a password file. I'm just attached. So now when I click view, so the web server is now creating. So do you know how much time will take? Within next 4 minutes, I can use this server. In next 4 minutes, I can use this server. Got it? So meanwhile, so we'll come back to the PPT and we'll discuss some other points and we'll back to the server. Okay. So like in Amazon EC2, I just used it and I'm creating a one web server. Got it? So now deployment models. So the deployments means how you can set up your cloud environments. Like we have a private wise, you have only one company, you can set up your cloud, you can build your own cloud. That is called private. Okay. And you do not maintain your cloud. We have any vendors are available in the market. So like Amazon, Azure, Google, you can take it any in the public vendors, public cloud. But here anyone can able to create their data center in the public cloud. So private means I individually configuring myself. So none of the people cannot entering. So public means there's a third party vendor, he's providing a services and you can go and we can buy our services. We can use how many hours and how many days, how many years we can use it. Okay, public. So here the examples are public cloud is Amazon Web Services, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Alibaba Cloud. These are example for public. Community cloud means example 2 to 3 companies or 4 companies grouping together, they're funding each other 10% or 20% or 25%. They'll be funding together and they'll building their data center. Okay, they'll be sharing based data center that we called as community based. So nowadays this is not good for us because of we are not trusting by another company. And hybrid means we are mixing. So example, one cloud will be connected to another cloud. Example, I have a private cloud, some data will be I created in private cloud and some of the servers and some of the data I make it in public cloud. So both I'm connecting each other, private and public. So that we call this hybrid model. Hybrid model we are using. So that means more than one cloud services provider we are using for your project, we call as hybrid model. That means integrating each other. So now in nowadays, we are also using this hybrid model. Even I'm also experienced in the same way. So at present in our course will be designed like a public cloud with a hybrid model. Hybrid model. We'll going forward in the other classes, we'll explain how to set up the public cloud and how to access it and how to use infrastructure service, platform service, software services, and how to connect it with the hybrid based model that we'll discuss. And the advantages of cloud computing means these are the main points are there. So cost saving, security, flexibility, backup and recovery. Dynamically, we can expand the servers, we can scale up, scale down, pay as you go model. That means how many hours I'm using, so that much only I can pay for it. Otherwise, I cannot do it. Palani Kumar, with VM2, what is it with VM2? I'm not getting your question, Palani Kumar. Can you please elaborate your question? So next, cloud examples in the market: Dropbox, Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Calendar, AWS, Azure, Gmail, Facebook. These are familiar cloud service providers. except the Azure, AWS. So rest of the clouds you're already using, right? So you're uploading your photos and video files in Google Drive nowadays, right? So we're already using that. So coming to the AWS certifications, so these many certifications and courses are there, but we are part of admin, so architect role. In the architect, we have a initial level is AWS Certified Solution Architect, Associate, and Professional. So this course will be I'm teaching in the next batch from Monday morning 9 to 10 o'clock. So this is a course, the professional course will be teaching that. Okay. So the course content, everything, I will share my link. Okay. So you can take it. And you can reach out our Skillmonk people. So they will coordinate with you for course content and all. Okay. Rest of the things are different technologies are there, like a big data, security, Alexa. So these are the technologies are also supported by cloud computing nowadays. Coming to that, so this is an exam. So this is 100%. The exam pattern will be divided into 5 categories. This is the domains. And going forward, anyone interested to join the course, we will teach and what are the importance, the weightage for each domain, how much percentage in exam. So we will teach you in that way. So next, the course content is this is a one, guys. Okay, course content is a one. Let me share the course content. Or you can so you can visit the Skillmonk page and our course content will be updated there. Okay, you can check that. Okay, or else the same content will be available. So this is a course content. Okay, so each and every module along with the project also will be covering in this course. Okay, and I'll ask to my people will share the course content. You can check that. Okay, thank you very much. And so why should I choose our training center? So AWS certification assistance I'll provide it. So how to prepare your exam after course completion. So I'll guide you to clear your exams. Okay, both associate and professional level exams. And latest AWS trends. So nowadays, keep on we are moving to our existing infrastructure to the cloud computing model. I'll help you out. So what are the things we have to in place? So and how to set up your AWS data center with existing technology, so that I can help you. Okay. So now live projects. So each and every service I will be giving the live example projects. So how you can give in maheshkar.com. The same way we will set up one project and we will do it. And each and every service with some examples, definitely. And real-time experience trainer. Yes, I hope you have already know about that. Myself, I have a different technology experience. So VMware and Citrix, because of prior the cloud computing technology, I'm already experienced in virtualizations. So if you have any questions in the backend cloud computing, you can ask. I can able to answer it. Raghav Acharya, so can I have your mobile number? Sorry, so you can connect with our Skillmonk people. So they will connect to me, so I can answer your questions in the next session if possible. Okay. And mock interview sessions. Mock interviews are very important. So before going for interview, so some people have interview fear. So I'll help you out. So 3 to 4 session per candidate. So how to clear your exams and how to clear your interview, how to speak and how to answer the questions. Everything I'll discuss. And mock interview sessions. After that, crimping lab. Crimping lab means I'll give you one scenario. You want to build the same way in AWS console. So I'll come and I will check that whether you build the exact lab or not. If you're doing mistake, I'll correct it yourself. That is called crimping lab. And one another way is called I'll create one lab. I'll do some small mistake. I'll give you the lab to all the people. You want to find out where the issue is coming from. So, and you have to fix it. That's a way you have to think and troubleshoot your issues in AWS environment. And resume preparations, definitely I will take care of it. And prerequisite technologies will cover. That's good question. Raghavacharya also asking a question. So basic networking and Windows and Linux technologies, basic knowledge is required. Please do not worry about that. So I will take additional classes on weekends basically. So you can attend those classes. You'll be very familiar to use your AWS services. Normally, you have to go for any institutions. You want to learn Windows Server Administration, Linux Server Administration, networking basics and all. You do not feel anything like that. So you can, I will teach you that one, that points. So additionally, I'll take 7 to 8 classes for Linux, Windows, and the basic networking classes I will cover with you. You do not spend more time, and with other trainers and other institutions I will cover with you that. Okay, so this is the main points. Any questions finally? So, and we already created server, right? The server is running, guys. See, the server is running. So now I'm connecting the server, very simple way. So this is IP address MSTSC 13.233.89.87. So server username is administrator by default. And click OK. So now I'm connecting to my server. So Divakar Balaji asking a course fee. Please reach out to our coordinators. So they will give you the course content, fees information. See here. So now I'm connected to one of the Windows server. So see, it's a matter of only minutes, less than 5 minutes. I'm creating a server. I'm access it. Okay. So even the same server you can connect from anywhere in the world. This is the best example for you guys. Okay. So Palani Kumar asking how about security services in terms of data protection and firewall, and when considering this IAS service? Good question. Palani Kumar, we have a security, identity and compliance. We have a different type of services will be available. We have a different type of services will be available like IAM, resource access manager, Cognito, secret manager, guard duty, firewall manager. We have a different services are available from the cloud computing. You can use that services. You can protect your servers. Okay. You can protect your IAS servers. So that is answer for OS count in usual hardware. Still, I'm not getting your point, Palani. So can you please ask in a different way? You can create a number of servers. So the server, how many hours will be running on the data center, they will be charged. Okay. So example, I'm just last 1 month I'm using for practice. So the charges will be like this, the billing and dashboard. So they'll be charged how many hours you'll be using per services. They will be listed out. See here, at present I have 11 rupees 51 paise. So I have a different services like infrastructure, storage, network, everything is there. So this much of prices will be charged. Thanks for joining class today. Okay, have a nice weekend to all. So happy Ramzan to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.